felt like you had seen some things online lately that made you feel kind of surprised about something. And the thing you were surprised about is that people don't recognize that the lifestyle of being a full-time traveler in an RV is a hard thing.
It is hard. I mean, you don't get this crazy of a lifestyle without having to put in the work to get it.
I don't live in a third world country having to walk miles for water every day. I recognize that. So please take all of this with the grain of salt, that things can still be hard even if you live a totally modern, luxurious life. I have so many things going for me, but I think that that's why, in fact, we seek out hard things to do.
We're looking for things where we can take that extra responsibility and find hardship, because in the world we live in, it's pretty easy to go without much hardship. You know?
We could be comfortable all day long. We could be comfortable 24/7. And every time we have found ourselves pushing to do something that is difficult and we don't want to do, I think we're usually glad we did. It makes us better people. We are on a trek right now from Minneapolis to San Francisco.
We decided we want to see the Tetons on the way. It's
the Grand
on
Tetons
the Grand Teton National Park. It's basically on the route there, so it seems like it would be really simple. And that on the way stop is like a whole thing. So we left Minneapolis and we had a 12-hour drive to Casper, Wyoming.
12 hours is a lot, especially when you're in the midst of like redesigning your company's most important piece. This has been maybe the craziest week in like our business in a long time.
Yes.
We spent a couple extra days out in Casper, and really all we did in Casper was just work, 10-hour days all day long. But also that week, we had to get ready to actually go and do this. But you took care of seeing where we were going to go.
Yeah.
You researched all the places.
It's a learning curve to find where to boondock, because there are places where you're allowed to and places where you're not allowed to, places that are busy and
places
not busy, places you fit.
I had to make sure we had all of our groceries. I had to make sure our meals were planned, meals that don't require too much water because you're boondocking, and also just sort of making what I could in advance. I had to get propane for us and fill up our water tank and all the things that it takes to go out and go boondocking. So it was a busy week to put that sort of on top of it. So we're already totally sleep deprived and pretty roughed up, and then we're gonna go out and rough it for a couple days.
We drive another 4.5 hours to the boondocking site that we had looked at. We are following Google Maps, which led us in an interesting direction down a very rough road. And so we were going down that road for a while, and at a certain point we just realized, this road, we're not built for this, and we had to turn around and go look for another boondocking spot.
Got back to the main road, and we went and checked out another campground that you found. And this one worked out for us, luckily.
It worked out, but not in the way that I think people picture it.
Yeah.
It's, because we were so close to a national park, there were designated areas for camping, so you can't just pull over anywhere, which means those areas are really busy. We still got a view of the Tetons out our front door, which is pretty cool.
It was great.
Once we made it there, it really was beautiful.
Yes,
it was
no doubt.
incredible.
Here's the downside of awesome places, especially national parks. They are crazy busy. So we went on a hike. It's so great. It's so beautiful. And the hike is lovely. And there were hundreds of people on this trail. think we made the best of it.
Definitely.
Found some cool places and some time for ourselves, and some animal sightings too.
So many animals.
If you see a bunch of cars pulled over on the side of the road, you just kind of pull over too, and then you start looking where everybody's looking.
Yeah, where's everybody looking, and look that direction.
So there were like 200 people parked looking in a certain direction. We started looking too, and there was a grizzly bear.
It was really exciting to see a grizzly bear, but it's still weird to feel like you're ogling this bear.
With everybody.
With everybody else.
That was the Tetons.
That was the Tetons, and then we packed up on our third morning, and we drove another 12 hours here to Reno.
Yeah, after camping, drove 12 hours, and we're still I think we're still recovered. It takes a couple days.
Yeah, and still working too. Still working on all that same stuff.
Yeah. That's the thing about a full-time RVing lifestyle. If you want the greatest adventure possible, prepare for greater hardships. Anybody who's been camping can understand what we mean when we say that camping is both beautiful and super hard.
I think, when we moved into the RV, we didn't really know what it would take to get to some of these cool places. And most of that first year on the road, for the first probably 9 months, we stayed at RV parks. We didn't try boondocking or any of that because it is hard, and it has a learning curve if you haven't done it before.
Just because something is hard, it doesn't mean it's not worth doing. And in fact, doing more and more hard things leads to better and better sort of results in your life. And that's pretty basic concept until you're forced to do it in the ways that we have to do it, which is quite often.
We get to do some pretty crazy stuff. We get to be in a new city or a new place whenever we want.
Yeah.
And that comes with some hard work.
What we're trying to show people is this is worth it. But sometimes, every now and then, it's good to remind people it's worth it, and you have to work for it, and you have to earn it.
It's almost worth it because you have to work for it.
Yeah.
A lot of what people talk about with hardship is it's hard, but it's worth it. But I think it's because it's hard. That's what makes it special.